Ja, hallo, Michael Adams für Stock-Telegraph auf der PDAC 2017 und ich habe das erste Mal zu Gast den Arturo von Santacruz und der Grund dafür ist, dass Sie mir, ich hatte Sie aufgerufen, mir ein paar Fragen zu stellen, dass Sie mir Fragen zu Santacruz gestellt haben oder geschickt haben, die ich dann jetzt direkt mit dem Unternehmen gern klären würde. So Arturo, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. It's our first time, so I would like to start off with kind of the big picture. Tell me what Santacruz is all about.
Definitely, Michael. Thanks. First of all, thank you so much for having me here with you, and it's a good space for me to clear up some questions around our latest news. And starting with a brief description about the company, we're a silver producing company. We're focused in Mexico. We want to have to be at least produced in the range of 4 to 5 million ounces of silver equivalent in the next 2 years. We have the assets to get there, and these assets, as we speak, are ramping up nicely. I'll describe you in a moment. So we believe we're very well positioned to this. Hopefully, these new markets comeback on the metal prices.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just for the guys that are not familiar, you're trading on the TSX Venture, and the symbol is?
It's SCZ.
Okay, perfect. So let's directly dig into the questions, because I will, around this video, I will probably link a couple of videos that Joe Brunner did in the past. Yeah, he did probably like 5 or 6 in the past. So I will link to these videos so that you can get the full picture on Santacruz. But my job is to ask the tough questions, right? So let's just start off, and I'm going to read them here from my email. So, the first one, and you just briefly mentioned that the first one was about the recent news release where you sold a project to First Majestic, right? And I know that in the past, there was some connection to First Majestic in the person of Keith Neumeyer. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's still around, but give us some more background. Yeah, why did you sell the project, and did you need to sell it to pay for debt?
Well, actually, there were a couple of reasons, Michael, and let me start by saying that the property still needed to. We still need to make a payment about $19 million for the property, and the capex to build that mine was around $35 million, right? So overall, it's above the $50 million, which we believe we have more efficient ways to put the money to allocate the resources right now, especially in Beta Grande. We're now in Zacatecas with a very strong project there with a blue sky potential. The more we learn about the property, the more excited we get, and the more we confirm that this could be a very significant, our flagship property during this year, right? This project, it's already in production. It's actually cash flow positive, Beta Grande, and the capex to bring this property to 1,200 tons per day, it's significantly less. We can get there with less than $5 million, and at that point the mine will be delivering you more than 2.5 million ounces of silver equivalent, right? So it makes no sense for us to keep pushing on building San Felipe when it was the TAC price was really high for us at the moment, and the capex to build it was very high as well, right? So what we did, we split the property in 2 mines. San Felipe has a satellite mine called El Gachi. Okay. So we sell these mines as different assets. As you will point out, we sold El Gachi to First Majestic, which is actually boundary with Santa Elena.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure it's gonna be a great project, great acquisition for them, and I'm sure they will develop that mine properly.
So they just recently bought, not recently, but they bought Santa Elena from
Silvercrest,
right? So,
that's correct.
That's another addition for them. So
that's correct.
Actually, Keith is doing a good job, I guess.
And no doubt.
Okay.
And we sold San Felipe to America Silver. Mm-hmm. It's they are going to do a great job there. I'm sure they are going to build a great mine, because San Felipe it has all merits to be a good, a strong cash flow producer, right? And I think it's now in the right hands to build it, and I'm sure they will build that as a very successful mine. And just giving you an idea, we sell the right to buy San Felipe because we, as you may recall, we still have $19 million to pay. We sold that right for $7 million plus value-added tax, right, which is around a little bit more than $8 million overall, right? If you do the math, and with that we issue around 13 million shares, 13,450,000 shares. If you do the math, you will see that it's the equivalent of issuing those shares at $1.04, right? Okay. So it was for us a good strategy, a good way to go. With that, we pay out our debt, our interest-bearing debt. We only have one note right now with zero interest, zero coupon. That it's $1.5 million, okay. Very manageable over 2 years almost. So the company is, from a balance sheet point of view, is in a very strong position now without debt. Okay. So we just need to focus now in ramping up Beta Grande, take that mine to get the most out of that mine, and at the same time you will see, Rosario is ramping up on Cinco Estrellas mine. That mine is it's a satellite mine from the main Rosario vein, and actually our plan, with some further news here, but our plan will be, I might be doing some forward-looking statements, so I'll be more careful, but our plan is to take this mine to its full milling capacity, which is 600 tons per day, right? At that time, Rosario should be producing around 2 million ounces. So Rosario will be in record production during this year, in addition to Beta Grande, right? So we think that a very exciting new story for Santa Cruz is just beginning, okay. And I don't know.
Maybe let me try to summarize it. So Santa Cruz was in a, let's say, challenging financial situation. You had various good projects, and in trying to solve this challenging financial situation, you decided to focus on some core assets and just sold the rest of it in favorable terms. So to enhance the financial situation of the company, so that you can develop the other projects. Okay.
And that's a good resume, actually, Michael. And let me point out that when we take this debt back then in 2014, the main idea, or the idea of getting this JMET facility, was to build San Felipe, right? Immediately after, the markets turned down and start going into a very bearish momentum. So we decided that it was not the best moment to build a mine, right? Against that. So that's why we end up with debt at the moment, and the only mine we have, which is Rosario at the time, it was too much for Rosario to serve that debt, right? So we've been lucky to finalize and get clear now with all debt. And that's definitely a new story, a new beginning for the company, which, in my opinion, is coming stronger than it was before, because we have two producing assets, with one of them with blue sky potential to keep growing, which is Beta Grande. In addition to that, we still have Gavilanes, which you may recall is a great asset with a significant geological potential. Okay. And later, as we keep building more cash flow, we'll start doing some exploration there again.
Okay, cool. And let's talk about the silver price. So is that enough, like the silver price right now, is that enough for you to create cash flow, or what would be a level for you where you feel comfortable?
Well, that's a good question, actually, Michael. And I think that our target this year, in both in Rosario and in Beta Grande, is to be at all-in sustained cash cost below the $14, right? Okay. So having said that, we'll be more comfortable if silver is above 20, right? But definitely, but definitely, we're not in a difficult position, and we just need to be disciplined and careful on how we allocate the monies, so that they can create more, let's say, more revenues, right? I mean, we can keep building and ramping up the mines as needed, right?
Okay. And just to sum up, there was a rumor, especially in Germany, I'm not sure if it also was around in Canada, that there is a possible takeover of Santacruz. So first, I'm not sure if you can comment on this. And second, if not, do you feel that Santacruz might be a takeover target for some other company, or do you want to do it your own thing?
Well, Michael, that's an interesting question. I think I heard that. Yeah, no. Well, I heard that rumor, and I think it was just a rumor, right? And if I believe that the company is a target for other companies, it's not for me to say it. The only thing that I can tell you is that we have great assets. The company's balance sheet is, we have pretty much only $1.5 million in debt, so it's very manageable. And the upside potential for the company to keep growing here is unlimited, right? Just to give just to give you a hint, a good indication of a possible takeover would be if you get calls from the big guys, if they try to visit your project. So how about this? Well, you put me on a hot spot right there. That's my job. But I can tell you that we're always open to whatever adds value to our shareholders, and that it's a win-win situation, right? That's a very political correct answer. So thank you for now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ja, also das war Michael Adams. Ich habe versucht, noch ein bisschen was aus dem Arturo rauszukitzeln. Ja, er hat sich da nicht so drauf eingelassen. Natürlich verständlicherweise, er will ja nicht mit irgendwelchen Regularien hier in Kanada in Konflikt kommen. Aber ich denke, wir haben einige der Fragen, die Sie mir gestellt haben, die Sie mir geschickt haben, auch beantwortet bekommen. Ja, warum wurden Projekte verkauft? Was ist aktuell die Strategie? Was für einen Silberpreis braucht man, um anständig produzieren zu können? Und wie gesagt, zu den Übernahmegerüchten, die da anscheinend im Markt waren, kann er natürlich nichts sagen. Aber ich denke, Sie haben da den einen oder anderen Einblick bekommen. Vielen Dank fürs Zuhören. Vergessen Sie nicht, meinen Channel zu abonnieren. Meinen Kanal zu abonnieren. Ja, und wenn Ihnen das Video gefallen hat, geben Sie mir einen Daumen hoch. Vielen Dank.